Welcome, everybody. Welcome, one and all, to the Shut-In Show. I'm pretty sure my audio is working, and I don't think it's this thing because that stopped working like 5 minutes ago. So please let me know in the chat if you can hear me. I can do some stuff to change my audio in a second. I also think that my monitor is now the main speaker for my Spotify, which is very confusing. However, whatever. We're gonna roll with it. Welcome to the Shut-In Show. I've got a fun show for you guys today. Been looking up the latest and greatest of all the things that you should be aware of. But I probably should start by saying, hello, all you cats and kittens. How many people have watched the Tiger King? That is something that we're going to talk about today. We're also going to talk about some good news about Spokane, some ideas that the people in our government are working towards amidst the shutdown. They've got some plans. I'm going to talk about some Lady Gaga, some new music that's not from Lady Gaga, and then some amazing, extremely exciting things that I am looking forward to watching on Amazon Prime. So let's get into it. See if I can get this thing to work. Boom. Starting out with good news. Hit the transition button, Danny. There it is. Starting out with some good news. Spokane has, just like every city, had a major economic slowdown. However, some people in our government, mainly a team that the mayor's put together, including former CFO of Spokane, Gavin Cooley, he's going to be leading the Economic Recovery and Stimulus Task Force. Now, Gavin's the guy, the chief financial officer for the entire city of Spokane. I've read a little bit about this guy before. He's the one who manages the money to do things like the pavilion. The kind of major infrastructure things that Spokane has been moving towards in the last couple of years is in part due to this man and his amazing financial skills. So in an Inlander article, they referenced an interview that they took with him probably like a year or two ago, where he was talking about the next recession. So welcome, we're in the next recession. Our economy is not going to, is hit similarly by COVID than, like similarly to how our bodies might be hit by COVID, right? And yes, we are going to have a really hard time recovering from this if we don't do several things. But one of the things that he's recommending is to avoid what's called the paradox of thrift, where everyone stays inside and doesn't spend any money because it's risky to spend money, and the government does the same thing, right? He's not saying everybody should go out and spend money. He's saying, by the way, Spokane has a big pool of reserves specifically for times when it's necessary to pull a large amount of money to do big projects. Now, Mr. Cooley says, is the best time to be working on some major construction projects. And I was wandering around longboarding downtown a little bit, actually, a couple days ago, and I was thinking to myself, it's roadwork season. Normally, it's a huge inconvenience to be doing any kind of driving around downtown, but guess what? No one's on the road. Now is the perfect time to be doing some major road updates, and Mr. Cooley agrees. Now, I don't think he's only talking about roads. I think he's talking about all sorts of things. What could the city need that we could push ourselves to the next best thing, right? Like, we recently completed this, which if you haven't seen the pavilion yet, right now is a decent time to do it. There's not very many people out. Go and wander around. You can stay outside of 6 feet from people. It's gigantic in there. It's gorgeous. It gets lit up at night with these amazing LEDs. Those are the sorts of projects that push Spokane from being a small city, small town that a lot of people happen to live in, to a big world-class city. It's no coincidence that this was left over from the World's Fair, another instance where we decided that we were ready for the world stage. So I'm thinking, I don't know what Spokane needs next, but maybe heavy infrastructure on certain roads, certain major projects can be finished while we're all in our homes, and boom, we've got a brand new city by the time we can all kind of come out blinkingly into the new sun. So this is something that they're thinking about. This is something they're talking about. And if Gavin Cooley gets his way, it's something we're going to be moving towards in the next couple of years. I hope that it'll be very soon. I hope that we can use some of that big pool of reserves to infuse some of our money into our city, kind of help prop up certain industries that are very important, like construction in our city. So yeah, why don't we build some more stuff? Sounds like a pretty good idea. I'd count that good news. Alrighty, other good news, moving on. Lady Gaga is throwing a big old party, One World Together at Home, on April 18th. Lady Gaga, what do you do when you're multi-award winning, super talented person who is very rich and very famous friends, and you got a big audience? Well, you raise money for the world. So she raised $35 million for the World Health Organization, and she's going to put on a show. She's helping organize, it's not only her, of course, but she's helping organize a show that NBC, ABC, CBS, iHeartMedia, and all of these other usually competing organizations are going to be a part of. They're not asking for more donations at the show, though I'm sure there are ways that one could donate if you were looking for it. They are just saying, let's all be together at home as one big world. To quote her, we want to highlight the gravity of this historical, unprecedented cultural movement, and we want to celebrate and encourage the power of the human spirit. I'm very impressed. I really think that this is an excellent use of someone's platform and an excellent way to bring the world together. So on April 18th, you can look for artists like Elton John, Paul McCartney, Billie Eilish, David Beckham, John Legend, Eddie Vedder, Kerry Washington, Chris Martin, Lizzo, J Balvin, Andrea Bocelli. Dad's going to be happy about that. And Maluma. I know about over half of those. I don't know who Maluma is, or Kerry Washington. Sorry, somebody educate me. Send me the best video send me the best song, some music video in the chat. I would love to take a look. All right, moving on to more music and some more videos. I've got a couple, Amanda grew up with somebody who happens to be in a band, and they were going to go on tour right now. But of course, everything is canceled. But that doesn't mean they're not releasing music. This band, they're a sweet Americana band out of Snohomish, Washington. They're super nice, really talented. I actually had them at my house. They came to perform at the Lucky You Lounge, and let's see. The story goes that the person that they were going to stay with, their basement flooded, and so that place that they were staying fell through. They were still coming to Spokane, so we hosted them for, I think it was 2 nights. They came the night before and then the night that they performed. It was really fun. Super nice people. And I'm actually going to put on some of their music for you right now. And we'll give you a quick bite of that. I think you should be able to hear this, but I am beginning to feel like that's not actually happening. Because there it is. This is their newest single, Have Another Beer. Fantastic song. I really love their previous album. I've listened to it all the way through a couple of times. Go give them a listen. I'll put a link to the video and to their Spotify. Lovely, lovely Americana music. Go check them out. And they're also really funny on their Instagrams too. Also, the main singer here does shows, essentially live shows, where she's covering little songs here and there, pretty much like every day or every couple of days on Instagram. So I'll post up a couple of things. Go check them out. They're great. Another just human out there who's still using this time to be creative and trying to survive along with the side of everyone else. All right, Tiger King. I did not think I was going to like this show. And when, I don't remember who was telling me about it, but suddenly 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people were telling me that I needed to go watch this all in one week. It was like, okay, whatever, reality TV, Netflix, whatever. Like, I don't really like reality TV. I prefer something else. But we checked it out, and it is surprisingly hard to put down. It's sort of like watching a train wreck. You don't know what's going to happen next, but it's probably going to get worse, and it does, and you have to keep watching, and crazy, crazy people are doing crazy, crazy things. You've probably already watched it, so I don't really need to keep explaining it to you, but the things that you should know about this: 36 million viewers in the first 10 days. That's not more than Stranger Things, but it is a lot, especially for Netflix. Netflix has also not made any official declarations, but there are rumors of an additional episode. Jeff Lowe, one of the characters, one of the real-life people in the show, who does not come off looking fantastic, was in a Twitter video a couple of days ago that was posted by some baseball player. Sorry, I don't know who that person is. I don't care who he is. But what we do care about is Jeff Lowe is claiming that there's going to be another episode sometime this week, apparently. As maybe this is where they are now. Maybe there's going to be a season 2. Who knows? Apparently, Netflix came and filmed with Jeff Lowe in sometime in the last week, which is crazy. But there you go. One of these things, it's one of those things that kind of reminds me, like, yes, I guess people still exist. Like these reality TV show people are real people, even though they may have been more dramatized or more extreme. But hey, like, they're real people still. And it's a little odd to be reminded of that. And then one other thing is, I bet, like, have you been to Cattails? I went to Cattails a few times as a kid, and I liked it. They are a cat rescue, and they don't make any money, I'm sure, off of the cats. It's like not that kind of place. But I'm guessing that the kind of people who watched Tiger King are now going to like go and check out Cattails when this is all over. Like, you got a lot of insider information about these like very strange and like hard to access things like these tiger rescues, and yeah, I'll be going by. Honestly, I like big cats, and tiger's one of my favorite animals, but yeah, makes you very curious about like every zoo or the one that we have locally. I think Cattails is above board, full disclosure, but I'll definitely be going and like seeing the animals. Another huge piece of news is that there's going to be a potential dramatization scripted show that will hopefully be starring Kate McKinnon and Dax Shepard as Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic. That sounds hysterical, and I would love to see that. I would definitely host a viewing party for that sucker, because, man, Kate McKinnon from SNL is one of my favorite characters. She's always a little off in a like little unnerving way, but that's her, and that's Carol Baskin the farther you get into the show. And Dax Shepard, yeah, I could see this working really well. But enough about Tiger King. I figured I'd had to cover it. Those are some pieces of news that you might not be aware of. I'm going to put links to all this stuff afterwards, so you can go check that out. And I'm also going to post, I saw a tiger music video that was created by Joe Exotic. I was also told that Joe Exotic doesn't sing. Joe Exotic is a country star in that he pays somebody to write songs and he pays somebody to sing the songs, and then he makes music videos, which is a pretty reasonable way to be a country star, I suppose. You've got a lot of money and you got a big enough ego, freaking go for it. But there are a lot of very odd country songs out there. You can even find videos of him getting married to his 2 husbands on YouTube. People have been digging up this stuff because we got nothing better to do. But yeah, you can watch the I Saw a Tiger music video. Oh, the thing about the music video, the person who sings the songs is from Washington State, apparently. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does with the rest of his time, but yeah, that sounds about right. Doesn't it? Okay, moving on to things that I'm utterly ecstatic about. If you recognize this picture, it is from my favorite artist, Simon Stollenhag. Simon Stollenhag is a digital painter, and he's created these several different art books, and I love all of them. I purchase everything that he has his name on the internet, pretty much. I've got these 2 things up here. I mean, it's that is that, right? I love this guy, and they've created a show on Amazon. You can go watch it now. It's called Tales from the Loop. It's a retro futuristic 80s thing. People are saying that it's more like a, Stranger Things, but on Amazon. I'm sure that was part of what they were going for, is to compete with Amazon. At the same time, this is a much bigger world. It's a much bigger thing, and all the reviews I've seen are saying that it's very, very different, which is great. The main characters of all of the sort of world building things that he does are kids, and it is set in like a 80s, 90s sort of thing. But I think that the tone is less like suspense horror sci-fi and more like awe and wonder sci-fi. I'm thrilled about this. I haven't watched it yet. I just haven't got around to, but now I've finished Tiger King and this is happening. I am extremely excited to go see this. I really want to watch it. So I know what I'm going to do later today. Like, that's just going to be me. All right. And the last couple of things here. Let's talk about our self-care thing of the day. We are in a strange and unprecedented time. And that means that we're trying to find comfort wherever we can. I found myself playing some video games I haven't played in a while, or just doing things that like usually make me happy. Playing a game at length. But my tip for today is, if you love something, don't love it to death. It's always going to be better. It's going to feel better at the end of the day if you've got a few more things going on. If you love one band, if you love one game, if you love one movie, watching it all the time, listening to it all the time, playing it all the time for a long stretch in one section, you'll burn out. You'll burn out pretty quick, and you won't like that thing as much anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a big fan of obsession. I have a fairly obsessive personality, but I would say that you would want to try to spread things out as much as you can and add in some variety. I was talking to Amanda and some friends about this the other day. Right now, time moves in a weird way. I'm kind of thinking of it in terms of like quarantine time and then what I call camp time. When I was younger, I worked at a camp called Camp Spalding, and I also went there like every summer growing up. And those weeks, it was a week-long period of time, they felt simultaneously like days would go super fast, but the weeks were so long. It felt like such a lengthy experience. And that's in part because basically you did so many different things in one day with lots of different people, lots of different kinds of activities. There was a rhythm to it, and it was well planned, and everything was sort of put out for you to do. But the days felt so jam-packed because there were so many different things that you did in a day. And that means the weeks felt longer as well. Like they felt full. And this might just be for me. This might just be I'm the only person who prefers that. But in this time, some of my better days are ones where I had I took an hour to do this, and I took an hour to do that, and this and that, and this and that, and lots of different variety. I read, I watched TV, I played video games, I called people, I did other things, and maybe I circled back to some of the things that I was interested in. But I did a lot of different things. So yeah, love what you love, do what you want to do. I mean, don't be too hard on yourself for doing the right things, but if you're enjoying something, leave yourself wanting more. End that activity a little earlier than you might think, even though it's, I know, extremely hard to stop playing another round or another day of Stardew Valley or something, right? Pick something else to do it for a little bit of time, and then come back to it later in the day if you want to. You've always got that option. All right. And in our last couple of minutes here, let's talk about coloring. So one of these activities that you could be doing right now, lots and lots and lots of people, artists and other places are posting up these free printable coloring pages. I'm going to link a few of them in the description. I've been having a lot of fun myself recently. I got Clint gave me these Spider-Man things a long time ago, a dollar store purchase, and they're great. Honestly, it's very satisfying to sit and color a little bit. And there's a local artist who created a whole book. I'm going to be posting that one up. Print them out, color them up, sit outside while you do that. It's really getting nice out there, but the temptation is to go out and spend a ton of time out in the city, and that's less ideal than still enjoying the sun. Humans are solar powered, but sit outside, do yourself some drawing, or sit inside and do it, whatever. Check it out, but don't do it too much, right? All right, and in the last few minutes, yeah, I think that's all we got. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been very fun. I appreciate you for stopping by and being patient with the here we go. Being patient with the tech issues. I've been working on this, trying to make it more seamless, trying to make it more smooth, and I still forgot to close my blinds or curtain. So, it'll get better as we go along. One fun thing about this for me and for you, I suppose, I hope, is that you get to enjoy watching it progress and get a little better every time. So, thanks for sticking around. Wash your hands, take a shower, call your mom, eat some lunch. All right. Talk to you soon. See you Friday at 12:15, and it will be at 12:15 on Friday.